Let your spirit fly. In STEM City by your side, we'll touch the sky. Students lifting students, hand in hand, together we rise, together we stand. From never we rise, together we stand. From every corner, from far and wide, our talents merge, our futures tied. In science, tech, and all the arts, we find our way, we play our parts. Reach for the stars, for the stars.
Good afternoon. I'm Moria, your BEYA Stars and Stripes STEM Career Day Student Ambassador. Today's Career Day is sponsored by Lockheed Martin, the leading aerospace and defense company. We would like to thank Lockheed Martin for continuing to support our program. Today's guest speaker is Erica Dobbs, founder and CEO of Dobbs Defense Solutions, LLC. She is here to share her insights and stories of success in many different STEM arenas. But before we learn about her fascinating journey, let me bring up my fellow student ambassadors, Mimi, Savannah, Hope, Joy, Nick, and Oliver to share their thoughts on today's opening topic, turning points.
Thank you, Mimi. Hello, I'm Veteran Ambassador Joy Pagan, originator and host of Constructive Conversations, and today we're discussing turning points. We'd like to invite our viewers to participate. What is a divisive turning point in your life, and how did you face it? Please share your thoughts in the chat and a picture if you have one. We're all going to reach a turning point at some time in our life. We must decide which path we're going to choose to take unless we don't know the outcome, but sometimes the path we choose can define our outcome. What is a turning point in your life where you had to decide which way you were going to go?
I would say, sorry.
Moira, continue.
Nick was talking.
No, I think that was someone behind him.
Okay. Well, I would say a turning point in my life was when I was choosing between colleges. I was like, should I go to FAMU or should I stay local and get my credits for my prerequisites for my major? And I decided to stay local just so I could have an easier transition. But that was a very difficult decision, especially when I saw like the people who were going to FAMU. I was in a group chat and they were posting about how they were going out and having so much fun. I was like, I'm still stuck here. But you have to do what's best for you.
Nice. I love that answer. Hope, what's a turning point you had in your life?
A turning point I had in my life was something I have to do every day, which is choose myself. I think a lot of the times, sometimes we sacrifice our own dreams or sacrifice like our needs for the sake of others. And I just started to decide to make an active choice, choose myself every day. And instead of looking at other people's footprints as closely, start creating my own so they become deeper and I can get to places where I want to get to.
I love that. We are in charge of our lives, so it's important that we choose ourselves. Nick, what do you think will be a turning point in your near future that you're going to face?
I feel like deciding a college for me, especially because I'm big into athletics. So just one that's like not only on the athletic side, but also the academic side. That's going to help me become a better young man and a better person in this world and help me get to where I want to be in my goals and aspirations.
Have you ever had a turning point during your athletics, like maybe playing football? Have you ever had a turning point like during then?
I remember I got hurt. I tore my meniscus in my knee, and I guess that was a big turning point because I haven't really been hurt before, so I didn't know how it was supposed to go. But a lot of people helped me like get back to where I am now. So it's really
Wow.
yeah,
That
Love that.
sounds painful.
yeah, it was.
Ooh.
Savannah, you mentioned how you're going to choose a college soon because you're an upcoming senior this year. Congrats on doing that.
Thank
So,
you.
is there anything you're having anxiety about when it comes to turning points? Maybe even this year as you're going to college, or maybe in the near future that you're thinking about already?
Mm-hmm. I think I've mentioned before, but I got accepted into a college program. So I'll be going to college early while all the other people in my grade may be in regular high school classes. So I feel like for me, that's a big step because it's different than just taking one or two AP classes in your school and then having everyone around you that you've grown up with and everything. While it is some of the same kids that go to college that have grown up around you, I feel like it's more diverse because people come from different areas. So I'm just a little nervous on that aspect and fitting into the environment because, as I said, I'm still a high school student while they already graduated high school. So I feel for that. For me, that's what I would be nervous about. But the whole program in general is a turning point for me because it's me taking the next step and trying to advance my education, my learning. So, yeah.
100%.
Congratulations.
I love that for you.
Oliver, what advice would you give to people our age who are facing turning points?
Um, I would say that if you're facing something like a turning point in your life, you should just really slow down and try to take in all the information you can so you can make the right decision. Because turning points, they really decide your future. Okay, you can go
Yeah,
one way, you can go the other way. You can't really go back.
Right.
definitely.
I
Yeah.
love that. I
Oh
love
my
that. I love
God.
how you said you can't go back. That's so true. Like, I
Yeah,
think
man.
sometimes when things happen, we get stuck in the past and like, why does it have to happen to me
Hmm.
and all that. But the best thing you can do when turning points happen is look in the future, but also stay present. Like, don't look too far because that can induce anxiety. Try to see what you can do now to fix the turning point. It's all about Mimi. I love hearing your insights every time we have career day. Do you think you're closer in deciding where you want to go to college? Like where are you with that?
So it's definitely been a roller coaster of emotions with that because, as Oliver said, you always feel like you really can't turn back. But I think with what I've narrowed down, the school that I chose is really good. It's definitely has everything that I was looking for in a college. And so I'm really excited to go this fall.
If you
Nice.
don't mind us asking, where are you going?
I'm going to Arizona State.
Oh,
Yay.
okay.
Nice,
Congratulations.
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 Thank you.
Guys, this
I
was such
appreciate
a
it.
great conversation today. I love hearing all your insights about turning points, and I hope this is inspirational to people watching today that if you are facing a turning point, keep going, stay present, and try to do your best to get out of that turning point because we create our outcomes and we're in charge of what we can do. So it was so nice talking to you guys, and Mimi, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Oh, me.
I mean,
You're
I'm
gonna hand it over
Moria.
to me.
I confused Moria with Mimi. I'm sorry, Moria.
It's okay.
It's okay. Thank you, ambassadors, for building a platform to have these. We've given you something to think about, and we thank you for your participation. Now, here's Mimi and Hope with today's special guest, Erica Dobbs.
Thank you so much, Moria. Hello again, Hope. Hey guys, I'm Mimi, and of course, I'm with Hope. And I am a recent high school graduate. And as we've mentioned before in our own turning points, I'm facing my own that I will also share more in Mimi's moments.
Good afternoon. I'm Hope Pagan, a current college student and a veteran Career Day ambassador. The discussion we just had about turning points in our lives is exactly where I feel like I am in my life right now. So I cannot wait to hear from Miss Erica Dobbs about when she faced her turning point so I can leave with some motivation and some inspiration today.
Yes.
I'm sure our guest today has faced a lot of turning points on her journey. Welcome to the show, Miss Erica Dobbs.
So, good afternoon, everyone. It's wonderful to be here with you today. I'm really excited about talking to you about my journey and the turning points that I've had experienced. I just want to start out by saying that each of you today, your turning points really resonated with me a lot. And so I just want to highlight some of the nuggets of some of the things that you talked about as we go into the dialogue to talk about my turning points. So I know that Savannah was talking about how she was actually getting ready to go to college as a high school student. And so I just wanted to tell you about my turning point in that area. When I was in high school, I was in Simon Gratz High School in Philadelphia, and I was in the engineering program. And so in this program, I was tasked with going to college as a high school student. And so I will tell you that each of you that's on the call today, when you're thinking about the turning points that you're going to encounter, just take it with stride and move forward with it. Like when I actually had to encounter mines, I went to Temple University when I was in high school. So I want you to think about, I was a junior when I was actually attending those schools. So I went to school with them. And then I actually had to go to the Navy Yard to work with actual professionals, and I was still in high school. So you think about all these different turning points that you encounter, it can be interesting for you. And then Nick was talking about his injury with the sports, and I was an advocate athlete myself, and I wanted to go to be in the Olympics and run, and I too had an injury and messed up one of my knees, and that took my journey to a different place. And so I will say to you that, you know, whatever turning point you're thinking about or that you're encountering, just like the young man said, don't think about going backwards, but go forward. And so today, as we enter into this dialogue with me, I didn't want to do a lot of slides because I wanted to have an interactive discussion with you to just walk you through some of the turning points that I've had in my career. And I will start with my military career, going from being in the military, retiring, and then transitioning over to being the CEO of a company. And so what I would like to do is, if any of you that were on the screen with me earlier would like to just have the dialogue with me, let me know out of the gate. So here we go. So my career started 36 and a half years ago when I joined the Navy. I joined the Navy when I was actually in college. So that was my turning point, is when I decided that going to Morris Brown College in Atlanta was not providing me with the level of expertise that I was desiring in the technical field. And so my turning point was joining the United States Navy. So when I joined the United States Navy, I had no clue what job I was going to be in, because I was very nascent in the Navy and what it would actually provide to me. So when I joined as an undesignated seaman. And most people don't know that about me, that I came in as a striker. And so all of the different turning points that came to me in my career put me where I am today as a CEO of a cyber company. So I started out in the Navy in a seaman field where I was not doing anything technical. But my job in the Navy actually provided that turning point for me when I actually became a radioman. And that job was dealing with what we call today cybersecurity and enterprise IT. And so those was my turning points. And so in 2019, when I actually decided to retire from the Navy, my launching pad was my military career into this journey called entrepreneurship as a CEO of a cyber company. So that is kind of like the life and aspect of what I actually do and what I did with regards to my career. So what I want to do is just give you a chance to ask me any questions out loud. I don't want to just talk to you. I want you to ask me, how did I get to my dream? If you would like to ask that question. Anybody? I want to create a dialogue with you. Okay, Hope, here we go. Can't hear you.
Thank you for allowing us to be in a dialogue with you. So you mentioned how you were the owner of a cyber company.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right?
That's correct.
So how did you transfer? When did you know that you had a passion to start doing cyber? Because I know I'm intimidated by cyber just myself. Like, how did you not get intimidated by it and like go dive right into it?
Sure. So I decided to venture into cyber because my background was really surface communications, and I learned that skill when I was in the military. And so over the years, the career has evolved. It started out as network operations, information assurance, enterprise IT, and then now everybody's like, oh, cyber. But for me, what made me want to actually dive into it was the fact that I had been doing it for over 20 years. It was just named something differently. And so with time, as things evolve, the names change just so it's more attractive for others to actually want to be a part of. And so for me, I decided, why try to generate or create something different? Use what you know. And so I decided to use the experience that I had learned in the Navy to actually launch this business. And actually, it has been the catalyst for my success, is sticking with what I know.
And when you went into the career and like especially the military doing cyber, was it an all male dominated industry? And if so, how did you feel being a female but also an African American female in the male industry?
Okay, Miss Hope, you asking me a lot of questions at once.
Sorry.
Okay. So, but I'm going to answer you. So, being in a male dominant career field, for me, because of the discipline that I have from the military and just working in the environment, I didn't look at them as being male or female. What I did is I looked at them as my coworkers. And so I was trained and disciplined to just focus on the job. And so as I'm growing now, I don't even look at my ethnicity, because my ethnicity has nothing to do with whether or not I can perform or not. It's about whether or not I have the expertise to do the job. And so for me, I will tell you that by my long-term time in the military and just being in the environment that I was in, I knew that I belonged at the table. So I didn't need anybody to invite me to the table. I would create my own table and my own journey. So for me, ethnicity and men had no bearing on whether or not I felt like I belonged, because I believed in myself. I
I
hope
love
that
the fact
answers
that
your
you said you
question.
create your own table. I have to start using that. I'm going to create my own table.
Yeah, you got it.
I love I love your mindset. You said something where it's like, I didn't care about my color and ethnicity. I didn't care if I was the only girl in the room. I love that, because what that says to me is that you're not looking for a way to victimize yourself. You're looking for a way to put yourself at the table and to eat, to get what's yours, and to really just show off your skills that you know you've been given. A question I have is, you did start off working for the military and then you kind of changed paths and became CEO of your own company.
Yes.
I want to be an entrepreneur myself, and what was it like becoming CEO? Because that's something like no one speaks about often, because you know, you're not only managing your cybersecurity, but you're also managing your business, your marketing, your finance, all of that. What was that like for you?
So let's start out with the go back to the question that you had earlier about what was it like just starting out and trying to do this as a business owner. So for me, the most important thing to me was my dream. And so I would tell you that as a aspiring CEO, you have to know that no one cares about your dream more than you do. So if it's your dream, you have to do everything that you can to make sure that you achieve it. So the topic is turning points. So for me, there were a lot of turning points. I had to learn that no one cared about me being black or a female or whether or not I knew what I was doing. I had to take that on myself. And so, one thing that I've learned in this journey is that we've already lived a life of segregation as minorities. I know that I'm a black girl. I don't need to go around with a hat on saying, hey, I'm black, and I don't want anybody to treat me any differently. So, for me, making sure that I had the technical expertise and the skills to be a leader is all I cared about. So within the life and the breadth of being a CEO and taking me on this journey, I did my homework. I went back to school. There were areas in the career field that I was entering into that I didn't know about. So what did I do? I went back to school and I got a degree in procurement and acquisition. So I got my master's degree in procurement and acquisition to help me to understand the government side of business, because that was one of the areas that I was not proficient in. But as far as the cyber and the technical piece, I could speak to it all day long because I had been in it for 36 and a half years. But when it comes to business, that was another piece. So I went back to school. I got my MBA. You hear a trend? My turning point was continuous education. And so I continuously to educate myself to make sure that I could do the job that I was aspiring to be. And so as an entrepreneur, I don't walk into the room expecting anyone to give me anything. I walk into the room to make change. I walk
That's
into
so
the room to be accepted. And so let me give you an example. Like, we do still have biases that come against us because of our ethnicity. And so, as a CEO, I encountered in the beginning a lot of biases in regards to receiving financials and just getting a lot of support as a CEO. And so, for me, I decided I'm not going to allow a lot of no's to decide where I'm going to go with my dream. Because if you take a no, then your turning point will never be aspiring to be what you want to be. And so for me, I tell people this story all the time. It's kind of funny, but hey, it's the reality. So Dobbs Defense Solutions was started on a jar of spare change. So I took all of my spare change in my house, and my husband put it in a jar for me. And so when it was time for me to actually embark on the journey of CEO, and I needed to go to the bank to put money in the bank to start the business, I took a whole jar of spare change to the bank, and we counted it up, and that's how I started my business. And so, what am I telling you? I'm telling you, by any means necessary, whatever your heart desire on this entrepreneurial journey, aspire to do what you feel is necessary for you to get to your dream. And that's what I did.
I would have never thought
Thank
that
you
this
so much.
company was started from like spare change like that. But I kind of just like when you said it, I kind of got the thought of even when we are on a specific path, we can take coins along the way
Mhm.
for the path that isn't going to lead is going to lead us to success. So everything like happened exactly the way it was and it was supposed to. Our new Arizona State upcoming Mimi has a question for you as well.
Wow, what the intro. I really liked listening to how you said you started with spare change, how Joy mentioned all that, and I thought that was interesting to think because having a big company and being in cybersecurity, especially seeing at the spot you're at, nobody would thought like, oh, it had a rough beginning or it had a rough start.
Oh
But
yeah.
that's really cool because with all stories like that, there's always a deeper meaning that makes it more cherishable. And so, a question that I have for you is being your own CEO and starting your own business. I know for sure, maybe it definitely wasn't easy. Is there a time where you felt like you were pushing for your business and it didn't quite go as you thought? And what was it that you learned from that experience and how did you grow from it?
Sure. So in the beginning, remember I talked about financials. So I actually prepared my business plan like you're supposed to do. And I went to several businesses to make my pitch and tell them how great we were and what we were bringing to the table and why they should fund me. And then it didn't go well. They told me, well, you're doing a good job, but, we don't think we can support you, or, this is not something that we want to invest in. And so, you know, I hate to say it out loud, but my military career that I was in um, taught me that no is not an answer for me. So I would always say, well, do you have a boss or is there someone else I can talk to? Because that's what I was trained to do when I was in uniform. And so when people would put hurdles in my way, it just made me stronger. So the no's were my catalyst to go to the next level. They were like my vitamin to say, oh, I can do this. It's almost like people telling me no was like making me Wonder Woman, saying, okay, what else can I do next? Because just because you're telling me no doesn't mean I'm not going to still try to pursue what I'm trying to do. So as a CEO and an entrepreneur, you have to put on like Teflon and desire to be what you want to be. You have no can't be a part of your vocabulary because everybody's going to tell you no because they don't believe in you because you don't have anything to show value. But you have to actually aspire to bring value yourself. And so for me, when I was in uniform, I served on a couple of aircraft carriers, and people's lives was in my hands because I controlled all the communications on the ship. And so when I would go to somebody for help and they would go, nope, can't help you. I'm like, well, you're not the person to help me because what I have to do depends on life and death of someone else. So you telling me no means I got to go find somebody that can give me a yes. And so I will tell you that whenever there's a lot of no's in your life, don't even ascribe to them. Find that yes And that's what I did. I found my yes, and my yes was myself in this situation. I decided that, okay, nobody wants to help me. I'm going to help myself. So what did I do? I bootstrapped. I have bootstrapped my business. And what does that mean? That means that I self-funded. So I decided I'm going to self-fund and make sure that my dream doesn't diminish because of other people's social biases. So, we live in a culture today where there's so many social biases that is against not just Black women, but women, period. And so you have to aspire to want to be successful no matter what. And that's what I did. And so today, I'm proud to say that last year we did $8.5 million with me self-funding and bootstrapping with all of those no's. That's what I did.
That's
Oh, wow,
amazing.
Congratulations.
I think that's awesome.
That is amazing. I love your story. I mean, I was just looking at an interview that the guy who created Airbnb was doing, and he talked about no's, and he was like, I got so many no's, I got laughed at, but I kept going. I didn't like
Keep
stay
going.
with the no's. I found a yes. And I think he was similar to your story. He even funded himself and was like, if no one's going to believe in me, I believe in myself. And I think that's such a great thing to tell these young upcoming entrepreneurs. Even myself, I learned that a no is just a step closer to a yes from the right person. So.
And to take it even further, I feel like it was very like untraditional for me to hear that your yes came from you. Because everyone else told you no, but your yes came from you. I feel like sometimes our mindsets, we look for yes, we look for reassurance or validation, but you didn't see Dobbs Defense Solutions being you didn't see the $8 million yet, but you saw the potential and you saw the success before it even happened. I think that's the best thing about being a CEO. I feel like that's the best thing about you doing what you did, because you just believed in yourself, and it's beautiful. It's been wonderful talking to you, Miss Dobbs. Thank you for taking time to join us for Career Day. Do you know someone who would be an excellent guest for BEYA Stars and Stripes Career Day? Please tell us about them in the chat. Before I turn it over to Savannah and Oliver with this month's STEM Inventor, here's a word from our sponsor, Lockheed Martin.
I work at Lockheed Martin as a cybersecurity systems engineer, and I've been at Lockheed for 19 years. The role of cybersecurity engineering has a tremendous impact on the mission to deliver secure systems to our customers. I have 3 children. My kids are the center of my universe. I would not be able to continue working effectively as a working parent if it had not been for the flexibility in our work schedule and the flexibility of our leaders to help me exercise a flexible work schedule. One of the reasons why I've been at Lockheed Martin for 19 years is because I think the culture and the values that we demonstrate really reflect my own personal values. Performing with excellence, acting with integrity, those are steadfast values that we talk about day to day. I have seen great changes in the diversity within our company. 19 years ago, there weren't a whole lot of women in leadership, so the few that we had were highly coveted. Today, I'm proud to say that we see quite a few women in leadership roles. The advice that I would provide to young women and girls who are interested in STEM is go for it. You can do it. Don't let anyone stop you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Savannah Mitchell, and I'm a rising senior in high school.
And I'm also a rising senior in high school. Thank you, everyone, for your engaging interview and questions for Erica Dobbs. And thank you, Ms. Dobbs, for sharing your journey.
Now, let's take the time to learn about another talented individual, Dr. Mae C. Jemison, a multi-talented medical doctor and astronaut. Famous firsts are important, and today we'll discuss Mae C. Jemison, the first Black woman to complete a mission in space. However, today we're going to focus on what led up to her most famous achievement. It's incredibly difficult to be selected to be an astronaut, but Dr. Jemison was selected from over 2,000 applicants, and the number has grown significantly since her selection in 1987. By the time she had her doctorate in medicine, as served with Peace Corps as the medical officer to Sierra Leone and Liberia.
Her skills are many. She participated in theater, dance, spoke Russian, Swahili, and Japanese, and she traveled around the world. In addition to her time with the Peace Corps, she studied in Cuba, Kenya, and Thailand. Her research investigated rabies, parasites, and vaccines, and she served on the World Sickle Cell Foundation. The turning point in her international fame came when she was selected to become a NASA astronaut, but she had already won several awards for her research by that time. In space, she studied the effects of weightless and motion sickness. She encourages people to explore all opportunities, especially those in STEM, and she is currently a professor, a public speaker, a film consultant, an actress, an author, and a founder of several organizations geared at gathering people involved in STEM fields. Dr. Mae C. Jemison will be remembered for her achievements as an astronaut, but let's amplify her achievements in medicine, philanthropy, and education as well.
Students, we hope all of you are enjoying learning about STEM careers at today's BEYA Stars and Stripes STEM Career Day, streamed live from STEM City, USA. Some of our featured inventors are inspired by larger-than-life events, and some experience their turning points from something as simple as representation on a TV program. Keep searching for what inspires you. You never know where it will take you. Next month, we will share another STEM inventor who has changed our lives through STEM. Let's take a quick commercial break to learn more about STEM City, USA.
What if you could build your own city? A place where every child can find nurturing people to help them achieve their full potential. A place where every adult can access job training support. Where health education is abundant. Where social justice ruled the land. A place without limitations. Welcome. You have arrived at STEM City, USA. It is what every city should be. A safe and trusted community where you find people and resources to help you become everything you are and beyond. STEM City is unlike anything you have ever experienced. It is a digital twin of the world around you, only better. STEM City is about energy and soul renewal. It is more than a digital world. You can almost feel the power of live cultural events, music, and theater. STEM City promises a better future for children, with caring mentors and hands-on activities, with dedicated tutors to support our youth. STEM City is your passport to a healthy lifestyle, with weekly events addressing our community's many issues. STEM City is your financial well-being, with helpful information on wealth management, career advancement, job training, and so much more. STEM City is the community you deserve. It is the city where your dreams can come true. STEM City, USA. A place in the sky that is accessible to all who reach for the stars.
That was STEM City USA, our 2D metaverse. Today we talked about our turning points, big decisions where the outcome is unknown. Our call on AI is a resource that gives you information about STEM professionals that can guide you through the decision-making processes. Learn more about Call on AI and the AI-powered library in STEM City USA. You can interact with our archives and ask questions to locate primary sources from decades of different media. Don't forget to visit stemcityusa.com and enter the Education and Discovery building. Then enter the library to sign up for your digital library card. Next, we'll turn our attention to Mimi to deliver her signature segment, Mimi's Moments.
Thank you, Nick, and thank you all of our other ambassadors and Ms. Dobbs for this really engaging segments that we've done today. I've enjoyed them, and I hope you guys enjoyed them as well. Welcome to another one of Mimi's Moments, where I'll be talking about one of my own personal turning points. As mentioned earlier through today, one that I'm currently experiencing is going to college. And it has definitely been a roller coaster of emotions. And it was really difficult at first to, I guess, accept that I'm going to college, because in my eyes, it was like, oh no, I'm leaving my family and I'm going to the other side of the country. And, you know, I'm growing up and everything's moving so fast. And why am I leaving? And why am I going to college? And I was just in denial. And, you know, I put on a brave face that I was ready, but I really wasn't for a while. I thought it was actually kind of funny because now it's completely different, but it was definitely a turning point that was really hard for me to accept that big amount of change. And it wasn't till over the summer I, you know, sat down with my family and we kind of just talked about, you know, the change that's happening. And rather than feeling as I was before about that change, you know, change is inevitable. That's something that we can't avoid, but you have to just come to a realization and accept what is going to happen. And, you know, as Oliver mentioned earlier today, that, you know, a path that you take, you really can't go back. So I was really nervous on taking that step because I didn't want to make any mistakes or feel as the path that I was taking was wrong. And, you know, that's just how I really felt. But something that I would like to share for, you know, rising seniors and really anyone who's experiencing level of change, that it's okay to be afraid of change and it's okay to not potentially feel ready for that extra step that you're about to take. But, you know, regardless of what path that you decide to take, you will still make the end. You'll still make it to the end of the road. You know, there's so many different options that you can go to. I chose college, but some of the things that my friends were choosing wasn't exactly my path, and that's okay. Moria mentioned the same thing earlier. You know, she was trying to decide if she's staying local or if she's going somewhere else. And, you know, I kind of felt that same thing, that kind of contention. And that's what got me discouraged at first. But it's okay what path you take, and it's okay to feel lost at first, but it's up to you to decide and accept that change, but also realize that that's a chance for growth, and it's a chance for you to become the better person that you can become ultimately. No matter where you decide to go, as long as your heart is in it and you have the passion and the mindset that you can conquer this milestone and, you know, develop into the person that you were always called to be, change will always be there, but it will help you to be that person. So thank you so much to listening for this Mimi's Moments, and I'm going to pass it over to Lieutenant General Bruce Crawford for some awesome words of wisdom.
Hoping everyone can hear me. I'm actually joining you from Massanutten Resort in Virginia, near the campus of James Madison University. So happy to be here with everyone. Listen, what you heard here today was all about our future competitive advantage. And I speak about that a lot because I believe that our future competitive advantage as a nation is going to depend heavily on our willingness to invest in our next greatest generation of leaders. As I've said before, there'll be many challenges, that our next STEM leaders are going to face. But what it ultimately comes down to is that the great equalizer, and that great equalizer is about awareness that leads to opportunity. So you heard some great messages here today from Miss Erica Dobbs, and I always learn something from these. The first thing that she said was use what you know. I love that. She also talked about generating your own table, meaning don't wait to be invited for a seat at the table. Generate your own table. I absolutely love that. And then she talked about dreams and the fact that nobody cares more about your dreams than you do. And then finally, probably the quote of the day from her and the message of the day is that no and the word no cannot be a part of your vocabulary. Find your yes. And so, again, just another great session today. I truly believe that this investment that we're making in our next generation is a template that the world should pay close attention to. And so with that, again, another amazing session, and back over to the leadership for closing comments and to the ambassadors. Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant General Bruce Crawford. Thank you to all who joined us for Career Day. We appreciate your insights in the chat and your opinions and questions. I will think back to what we've learned when I'm faced with my own next turning point, and hopefully I'll make a great choice. Thank you to our Career Day speaker, Ms. Erica Dobbs, for joining us today and sharing your experiences and insights. That was very meaningful. Thank you. Remember to visit STEMcityUSA.com for more BEYA STEM Career Day segments. And we would also like to give a very special thanks to our BEYA STEM Career Day sponsor, Lockheed Martin. They are known for their groundbreaking work in aerospace, arms, defense, information security, and technology around the world. Please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and join us for the next Career Day on August 10, 2024, where we'll feature even more STEM professionals, college students, and high school standouts. I'm ready to explore new STEM careers with you. See you next time. This is Moria Bowman signing off.
From every corner, from far and wide, our talents merge, our futures tied. In science, tech, and all the arts, we find our way, we play our parts, reach for the stars.